Your energy is your most valuable resource. I've been saying this year after year after year after year because time without energy is void of value. Money without energy. You all know clients, I'm sure, who have lots and lots of money but are miserable. Fortunately, we also know people who don't have much but who are extraordinarily happy and healthy. They make the best of what they have. So it's not necessarily about money, and it's also not about time, because we all think that we would get more done with more time. But the reality is that this constant obsession of needing more time puts us into a state of survival that is actually causing chronic nagging stress. One of the worst things you can do when you wake up is start thinking, I wish I had more time. I don't have enough time in the day to get things done. Because immediately your brain changes the way it operates. It puts it under chronic stress. And I promise you, we're going to be seeing more and more of this research showing there's nothing worse for your health than chronic stress. Now, I have a whole presentation on that. I don't want to get into all the details now, but I do want to tell you there's a huge difference between acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress is what we have to deal with right now in the moment. It is primarily adrenaline-based. It causes us that fight or flight response that we've heard so much about. Nothing really dangerous about that, by the way. So if you have to deal with tragedy that's really a tragedy, you'll deal with that, you'll get through it, and you might become stronger as a result of it. The problem is the chronic stress, the everyday, I don't have enough time to get things done, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough control over my plan, whatever it is, that's the stuff that's so toxic, it kills brain cells, it weakens our productivity and our engagement, and really destroys our health overall because of its inflammatory response. But for me to stand up here and spend the next 45 minutes telling you what to do would be a complete waste of our time together. Because I've been doing that for the last 10 years, working with advisors, doing client programs around the world, and I have not yet found a single person who doesn't know what they should be doing. In fact, let me just get a sense from those of you right now. If I told you we were going to work on energy management, and I asked you to do one thing different today that would help you to have better energy, better performance, better productivity, how many of you right now already know what you should be doing? Raise your hands. Okay, that's what I thought. So what's the problem? How many of you are already doing that, by the way? Some of you. I mean, the reason you're here is because you're already performing at very high levels. And by the way, I don't want to insult you and say that I have the golden rule, I have what you're all missing, because the fact is you're already doing it really well already. But what I want to talk about are the simple things that you could be doing to take your game to the next level. The simple things that you could be sharing with your clients to help them to age more successfully. And the thing with these techniques that I really love is that they're not just things that are going to help you to age better, because one of the challenges we have in healthy aging is that it seems so far away. Even those of us who might be closer to it, it seems like it's tomorrow, we'll get to it tomorrow. These are strategies that will really help your brain to perform better today, in the moment. And especially at times like this, where you're at a conference and you're getting a ton of information. It's really difficult for you to retain that information, and you're trying to pack in so much content and so much learning and so much networking into a short period of time that for most of you, your brains are already in information overload. So I don't want to sit here and tell you more things you should be doing. I want to talk about how you might do a few things differently to get a better return on your investment. So probably the most important thing that I've learned in the last decade of working with financial advisors is what I already shared with you. It's the gap between what we know and what we do. And by the way, this isn't just with advisors, this is with everybody, the clients that I work with. There's this gap between what we know and what we do, and I like to use the analogy of a CEO and a CFO having very different goals. So a CEO is being the person who has the mission and the vision and the values and wants to motivate people and inspire people. And we spend a lot of time in our labs programs for Janus Labs, as well as the programs I do for Synergy, looking at why do you want to do what you want to do. In fact, we could spend the whole time just thinking about that. What is the purpose behind what you do? But again, I don't meet many people, especially successful people like you, who don't already have a reason that motivates them to be healthier. So that's not the problem. On the other hand, we have this organ that controls every single thing that we do, the brain. And the brain in many ways acts more like a CFO of an organization. It is managing the budget. It is looking at resources and trying to figure out how many resources do we currently have to spend on something that is change, because any change, even positive change, requires energy expenditure. So if you want to do something differently, even if you know it's good for you, you have to have energy in the tank to start with, to spend, to create those new habits. Again, I know you all know this already, but this is the gap between what we know and what we do.